You ever hear a story so wild, so unbelievable that you just have to stop and ask, wait, is this even real? Well, tonight's one of those stories. Because something huge just went down, a public showdown between two of the most powerful voices in modern media. And what started as a simple debate has turned into a storm of accusations, rumors, and a shocking claim that someone, a man named Charlie Kirk, has disappeared. Now, if you've been online at all this week, you've probably seen the headlines. Candace Owens versus Ben Shapiro, two dominant figures who used to stand on the same side. But in this viral moment, everything changed. And right in the middle of that chaos, Candace drops a bombshell on live air, hinting that their old friend, Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA, didn't just go missing, he was made to disappear. The internet went crazy. Hashtags like "They Silenced Charlie" and "Candace vs. Ben" exploded overnight. TikTokers were dissecting every frame of that debate, the tone in Candace's voice, the way Ben's jaw clenched when she said, "You know what happened to Charlie." Imagine that moment, cameras rolling, a packed auditorium, Candace's eyes locked on Ben's, voice low, steady and sharp. "You think this is a coincidence?" she said. "You think Charlie just vanished? No, Ben, you know what's happening." You could have heard a pin drop. And Ben, the usually sharp, confident one, froze, no quip, no defense, just this uncomfortable silence that told the world maybe, just maybe, she wasn't bluffing. From there, the internet did what it does best, it investigated. Threads on Reddit, long videos on YouTube, conspiracy theories on X. Everyone wanted to know, who are they? What did Charlie know? And why, after months of silence from his company, was Candace suddenly bringing his name up now? Some said she was losing it, that it was all a publicity stunt. But others, they saw something in her tone, something raw, like a woman who'd finally had enough of pretending. By the next morning, Turning Point USA, Charlie's company, scrubbed his name from the official site. No statement, no update, just gone, and that's when things really spiraled. Candace doubled down, Ben stayed silent, and people started whispering that the disappearance wasn't just a rumor, it was a warning. Now maybe this is all smoke and mirrors, maybe Charlie's fine and lying low, but if what Candace said on that stage was even halfway true, then this isn't just a feud, it's a cover-up. And trust me, you're gonna want to hear what happened next, the betrayal, the leaks, and the dark secrets that tore their alliance apart. Stick around, because in the next part, we're diving into the hidden cracks behind this trio's picture-perfect alliance. And hey, if you're into unraveling mysteries like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, more shocking stories coming your way. You ever notice how the strongest friendships sometimes hide the darkest secrets? Well, that's exactly what we're seeing here. Because before that viral confrontation, before Candace and Ben's explosive argument on stage, there was something simmering beneath the surface. A tension that started long before Charlie's disappearance. To really understand what happened that night, you've got to rewind a bit. See, Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, and Charlie Kirk weren't just random public figures who crossed paths. No, they were a team. They built an empire together. Candace was the fire, Ben was the strategist, and Charlie was the visionary who made it all happen. Together, they shaped Turning Point USA into one of the biggest movements of their generation. But power changes people, and when ambition meets ego, things start to crack. At first it looked perfect, shared stages, viral speeches, the trio dominating headlines, but behind the scenes, it wasn't all smiles and handshakes. Candace had always been emotional, driven by instinct and conviction. Ben, on the other hand, was cold logic, numbers, and structure. He didn't like chaos, he liked control. And Charlie, he was somewhere in between. A smooth talker with charisma, but he played both sides more than anyone realized. According to insiders, Candace began to feel used. She felt like Ben and Charlie saw her as the face, the passionate one who could pull the crowd but not as an equal. "They needed me," she reportedly told a friend, "but they never respected me." Imagine carrying that resentment for years, watching your so-called partners climb while you're treated like the loud one, the emotional one. You'd explode too, right? Then came the rumors, quiet at first, about strange money trails, powerful donors pulling strings, and Charlie holding secrets that could destroy everything. Candace wanted answers. Ben wanted silence. And Charlie, he went missing right when the questions started getting too close. When Candace confronted Ben during that debate, that wasn't a sudden outburst. That was years of buried frustration, years of pretending. She wasn't just calling out a disappearance, she was calling out a system. "You think he just vanished?" she said, her voice trembling. "You know what happened." And that's the moment Ben's composure cracked. His silence spoke louder than any denial could. After that night, people started to connect the dots. Old photos resurfaced, clips of interviews where Charlie hinted at pressure from above. It wasn't just a friendship anymore, it was a house of secrets collapsing in real time. And the deeper people looked, the more questions they found. What were those projects Charlie was working on before he vanished? Why did Ben suddenly distance himself from Candace? And most of all, was this just about fame and power or something much darker? You know that feeling when you can literally feel the tension in a room, like something about to explode, but no one wants to say it first? That was the atmosphere the night Candace Owens faced off with Ben Shapiro. Everyone thought it was going to be another regular panel, a few debates, a few jokes, maybe some polite disagreement. But what actually happened, no one saw coming. The air was heavy, cameras were rolling, fans packed into the studio expecting sparks but not a wildfire. Candace sat there, eyes sharp, her tone steady, almost too calm. Ben leaned back, confident, thinking he could control the narrative like always. And then, she dropped the line that stopped the world. "You think Charlie just disappeared," she said, staring right at him. "You know what happened, Ben." For a few seconds, it was silent, like real silence. You could hear the tension buzzing through the microphones. Ben blinked, froze, and for once he didn't have a comeback. That moment right there, it changed everything. People in the audience started whispering, phones came up, cameras zoomed in. Within minutes, the clip hit social media. By the time the debate ended, "Where is Charlie Kirk" and Candace vs. Ben were trending worldwide. Some said Candace had lost it, that she was spiraling, making wild accusations to stay relevant. Others swore she was finally telling the truth, exposing the powerful people who wanted to keep Charlie's disappearance quiet. Ben tried to laugh it off, the way people do when they're cornered but pretending they're not. He said, "This is ridiculous, Candace, don't spread rumors you can't prove." But his eyes told a different story. Nervous, avoidant, almost guilty. Then came the clip that broke the internet. Candace leaning forward, voice low, almost shaking. "You think they won't come for you too? They already did it to Charlie." Boom, that was it. That was the moment the entire story flipped from debate to mystery. The moderators cut the feed, the cameras stopped rolling, but it was too late. The internet had the footage. Millions watched it, frame by frame, analyzing every breath, every blink. Some claimed they saw Ben whisper, "You don't understand," right before the clip ended. And just like that, the whole world was split in two. Half believed Candace, the whistleblower, the truth-teller who risked everything to speak out. The other half called her unstable, desperate, maybe even dangerous. But one question echoed louder than all the noise: where is Charlie Kirk? Because after that confrontation, he didn't post, he didn't call, he didn't show up anywhere, not a photo, not a message, nothing. It was like he'd been erased. Alright, listen, after that confrontation, everything just spiraled. Like, if you thought it was wild before, you have no idea what was coming next. Because this was where things went from just drama to something that felt like a full-blown cover-up. So, days after Candace's explosive moment on live TV, her phone started lighting up. Random numbers, blocked calls, weird messages like, "Stop digging" or "He's gone, let it go." At first she thought it was trolls, internet people being cruel, but then one message changed everything. It wasn't just words, it had a file attached. When she opened it, her hands literally started shaking. The video showed Charlie Kirk alive, or at least it looked like him. He was sitting in a dimly lit room, whispering something like, "It's not what they told you, don't trust anyone." Then the video cut. That's it, just a few seconds, but that was all it took. She sent it to a few close friends, and by the next morning it had leaked. People lost their minds. News outlets picked it up, conspiracy channels ran full deep dives, and Ben Shapiro, he went silent, completely off the grid. No interviews, no posts, nothing. And then, get this, 2 of Candace's social accounts vanished overnight. Her backup page gone, her email locked out. It's like someone was trying to wipe her out digitally, just like Charlie. One journalist managed to contact her a few days later. She said Candace sounded exhausted, paranoid even. "They're watching me," she whispered. "Every time I say his name, my lights flicker." The reporter thought it was stress until the call cut mid-sentence. A few hours later, Candace's phone number stopped working. Then, out of nowhere, an anonymous account posted the full version of that leaked video. It wasn't just Charlie saying, "Don't trust anyone." He also said, "If you're seeing this, I didn't make it out. Ben knows." That line broke the internet. Millions of people started demanding answers. Hashtags everywhere, old clips, interviews, even blurry photos of Ben at airports, everything got analyzed. But here's the twist that no one expected: the anonymous account that posted the video, it was created the same day Candace disappeared. Now here, where I want you to really think. Was Candace silenced for exposing something real, or did the pressure make her lose control? Because honestly, no one knows what to believe anymore. And Ben, he eventually came back online with one chilling post. "You'll hear my side soon, but not everyone deserves the truth." So yeah, that's where things stand. Two people vanished, a video no one can fully explain, and a secret that feels bigger than both of them. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to subscribe, because trust me, the next one, it's even darker. You won't believe who's involved.